I got a fever.
It's time now for the Friday night feature with Kelly and the Pain.
Time to nut up or shut up.
Here comes the pain.
Kelly, 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 K-E-L-L-Y. Why?
Because...
Here comes the pain.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Oh yeah. Holy crap, that was loud. It's the Friday night feature.
Woo! Friday again.
We do not have
Any sense at all.
any video.
No video. But we can still talk.
We can still talk while I try and figure this out. We are joined tonight by Sean Murray and who's your friend, Sean?
Eric Everhart.
Eric Everhart from Rightfully Accused. Hello, boys. Thanks for making it.
Howdy.
Hi.
So, Rightfully Accused has been around for a while.
15 years in January.
That's insane. I was reading your bio, how you went from boys to young men.
Aye.
Aye.
To getting slightly older men.
Slightly older men. I wondered what the
Physically,
difference was.
but not mentally.
How do you clarify between young man, old man?
I think it's two things. How far away from 30 you are, and also how jaded and bitter you may or may not be at any given moment.
So you could be like an old man at 22. If
Yes.
You were particularly
When I
jaded.
was 24, there were times where I felt quite old, maybe, but wasn't.
So are you pushing 30?
Getting there. 2 more years.
Wow.
I'm 28.
That's crazy. And you've been playing. Well, now, what instrument are you playing? Are you still vocals and guitar for Rightfully Accused?
Yeah, and I'm also doing keys.
Excellent.
well.
And you used to have several, like 11 people in the band at one point or another.
Yeah, and we still, when we can, do that. In fact, I had hoped it would be all 11 tonight, but it's like 7 or 8 instead.
Okay, and you guys are performing live at the Toad Tavern. Is that right?
That is correct.
And where is that?
That is...
It's not in a pond.
It's not in a pond.
That's good.
It's near a pond. There's a
Really?
pond around there, I think. South Federal and Bowles.
There's at least a pond somewhere in the vicinity. This pond, we don't know how big the pond
There's a
is.
pond. So there might be real toads. It's possible. You never-
Oh, I assure you, there are real toads.
They're toads. Something tells me you're referring to the woman. It's not nice. It's not nice to call a woman a toad.
I really wasn't talking about
He's
women. I was
smiling.
actually talking about a real, pond.
Really todes, yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Hopping frog.
Careful, you can catch warts from toads.
I think that's shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
I call
that you-
bullocks.
Okay, you caught me. But if you lick one, I don't know what happens either.
Depends on what kind of toad it is.
Yeah.
I think if you go to like South America, there's toads you can lick and have
Is it
yourself.
toads or frogs that you can lick?
Well, I think there's different species. There's a toad. There's also there's toads. What else? There's toads.
I'm not that up on my amphibian.
Man, what
Turtles, lizards.
I've been waiting my whole life for this moment, and I can't tell you what the different kind of frogs are.
I'm not up on my taxonomy on amphibians.
So now you are drums.
Drums, yep. And I've been working with John on and off since we were both in high school.
We were boys.
Since you were boys.
Before that jaded era.
And are you both young men now?
At heart.
Young men.
No, I mean, yeah, definitely. We're not old guys by any means.
Yeah,
We're-
don't
I
look
mean,
old.
if you see your mom's friends, you're like, man, I feel old, and they're like,
Well, you're young still.
that's
That's a great voice.
Yeah,
That's good.
we're-
That's a good
Well,
one.
Eric is full of this kind of goodness. I'm sure within the hour we'll get
Really? So maybe we could do some impressions later on.
certainly.
Okay.
yeah.
We could do an impression of that toad frog thing you can't think of. Okay, so what time do you go on at the Toad Tavern?
We'll be on at 9:15.
9:15 with 7 people.
7 or 8. I haven't counted. Let me see. Let me see here. There's Eric, and there's Jeff, and there's Gija and Adelaide and Grace, and then we've got Des and myself. Yeah, so 7. I
7.
think,
And
yeah.
and are all of them playing instruments, or are some of them just wearing sequin tops and dancing?
No sequin tops and dancing this time.
Darn.
Katie couldn't make it.
Is Katie listening? Are you in trouble now?
It's possible. I don't know. No, Katie sings too. It's good. But she's having like finals or something like that.
I thought you were going to say she's having a baby. I don't know why.
Oh, not yet. Not yet. Anyway, not that we're aware of. I mean, it's always a possibility.
Yeah,
She
you
might
never-
not even know that she's about to be having a baby.
Maybe
Exactly.
she is.
We should ask Target. You know, Target can track your spending habits and can.
What?
Yeah.
So she subconsciously, she knows she's pregnant. She's buying, pickles and ice cream, and Target sends her a letter and says, "Dear,
I'm
Sarah,
telling you.
you're pregnant."
You might be
There's a
pregnant.
famous story about it actually, where Target actually knew about a girl's pregnancy before her dad did.
Wow,
It's weird.
that is weird. So tell me, the different variety of instruments that will be played on the stage?
We have got 2 violins, viola, cello, which is the bulk of the extra people.
So 4?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then we have keyboards and guitar and bass and drums.
Are you playing keyboard and guitar?
I am.
That's
Yes, we're gonna
tricky. At the
we're gonna
same-
switch it up.
Awesome.
I have 2 preferred guitar players for these shows that I call, and one guy had to change kind of a couple weeks ago, and then when my other one wasn't available, I was like, we're just gonna rearrange some stuff, and so tonight is very special because we're gonna do some sweet little piano arrangements of some songs that normally have like piano and guitar and backing tracks and all this stuff. Instead, we're gonna have a special like VH1 behind the music
I
time.
was going to say, it sounds like unplugged.
That's right.
Awesome. That sounds like fun. So you have a new set of music as well.
Some of it. I mean, honestly, new music. It's not like original Rightfully Accused music is dropping tonight. That's not happening.
So you're saying we won't hear. Are we going to hear this at all tonight?
You will hear this tonight.
Oh, that's fantastic. One of my favorites.
Mine too. For
Yes, yes.
Or this one.
We will hear this tonight, but it will be a different
Arrangement?
version.
Okay,
Yes,
wait.
yes.
Play it one more time and watch them. You got to watch them before you push the. Hey, watch. Ready? Oh, they didn't.
What did we do?
I do the same thing every time I hear it. Hold on. We gotta let him see it. Oh. It figures. My camera isn't on. Nobody gets to see me tonight.
Turn on that
Yes.
button. Everything was just turned off. But if you turn on. So tell me, why are there YouTube of geese on your webpage?
That's old. That's old.
That's amazing. I remember when I first saw that, I was like, "No, that's funny."
I just haven't taken it down yet. I don't know. I'm busy. Plus, it's cool. Whatever. But it's advertising for a show a year ago.
Oh. Yeah, it didn't make any sense. I was like, they should have toads, not geese.
Right? Dave and I were wandering around the Metro campus, making fun little videos of just stupid stuff to advertise the show we had in July last year.
Ah.
And there happened to be 2 geese there, and Dave was like, "What if we were like, don't be a sitting goose?"
Oh,
So-
that's clever.
It's worth watching. It's
I
fun.
saw this YouTube of these family of geese stuck on an escalator. They were walking upstairs and it was traveling down. And they were just stuck.
That's worth checking out.
It was.
That
it
is
was,
worth checking out.
It's moderately
Worth
entertaining.
checking out. That reminds me of something with a slinky on an escalator, which is genius if you ask me.
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, also genius.
I think it's a Geico commercial. How happy are they? Happier than a slinky on an escalator.
I like the broom one, a witch in a broom
It's
factory.
good. Yes, all those commercials. Like Geico has the best commercials, hands down.
Agreed. I want to be a commercial writer for Geico. Only not have to write anything, just get paid for it, right?
Me too.
Definitely. All right. So you're on 9:15? Is that what you said?
9:15.
Until about when?
Until about 10 o'clock.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, we would play longer, but they tell us when and where and how. So
And what? No, they didn't tell us what.
They
don't
tell
tell us
you
what. No,
They
we
tell us
have
why?
to do that.
And are you sharing the stage with other acts as well?
Indeed, our friends from Devoutcast, who used to be known as Wild Angels when we were chillins back doing our thing.
Wild Angels.
Mhm.
That's an awesome name.
It was cool.
Mhm.
They became Devoutcast.
Do you
Stop
think
late.
angels believe in ghosts?
Oh, wow.
Do you think angels believe in angels? I mean, we could go a long way with this.
Yeah.
I definitely could.
It's only a 1 hour show this week, guys. So
Right.
I mean,
Well, we should ask the blonde girl in Paranormal Activity 4.
So scary.
I love that they just keep coming out with sequels to this movie that you thought was, over.
Right. Right. The first time it was believable.
tweens to scare. Way more tweens.
Those movies are scary. I
The
think.
first one was, yeah, I didn't.
The
see
first
it.
one, well, and I liked the second one too.
Mm-hmm.
The third one, although it had its scary moments, I thought was kind of stretching it.
I didn't even see the third one.
And now the fourth one is supposed to be the beginning of everything.
I'll tell you what, on Netflix, I was like, all right, let's check out Paranormal Activity 3. I started, gave it 3 minutes at the beginning, I'm like, oh, everything's so simple in this household. And all I needed to do was, scrub all the way on Netflix until the end, and then I knew the movie.
Yep. Because it was pretty
Yeah,
much,
it's all
laid
still,
down and
yeah.
really simple.
Mhm.
Followed the other ones. I mean, you could pretty much write it out yourself after 3 or 4 minutes.
And then the cabinet doors went boom.
Yeah.
I remember when it
It
came
was
out, my
scary.
little sister, I think she was 11 at the time. She's like, that's real. I'm like, oh, it is? Wow.
Hey, I remember, the Blair Witch Project, when they first dropped that
man.
movie, that one did it for me. We went out and saw it, at midnight on opening night, all spooky, dark out and everything. And this was before, they released the fact that it was fake. So this is when those rumors were still floating around, and they shot it well enough to believe that,
Right.
it was believable enough. Believable enough for a bunch of grown-ass men to stand in the parking lot for 2 hours after the movie and not do anything.
Awesome. Awesome.
That's always been a great experience.
There's a new one out called VHS, and it's a lot like, kind of like Blair Witch.
Killer
See, that's
cassette
more-
It's called
recorders.
VHS. It's the scariest goddamn movie I've ever seen.
Really?
I was yelling at the TV.
Like the tape gets caught in there and starts unwinding. That is a nightmare.
It was horrible.
No,
it's really-
don't eat that. Don't eat that tape. No.
Oh my Dukes of Hazzard on the tape.
There is a young demographic who has no idea what we're talking about right now.
VHS. They're
hearing
like,
that.
what?
Yeah,
is
they're
VHS?
like tape unwinding and getting what?
Yep.
Like remember having to pull it out and you were like, no, Jurassic Park.
Come on. And it's stretching the tape out, and you're trying not to pull it, but it's like wrestling with you, and you're like,
Right.
come on. You don't want it to snap, but you can feel it giving. Come on.
You have to fix it with regular tape if it does break.
Yes, that
You have to put
works.
it, and you just
That
miss a
works.
scene. Like,
Ever-
What
oh,
happened?
now we're here.
Remember when you wanted to watch a movie and you're like, yeah, I love this movie, and you put it in and it's like credits are rolling. You're like, damn it, now I must rewind it.
Yeah, you had to wait
Yeah.
10 minutes to rewind something.
Mhm.
Oh,
You're like, I don't
things
even
are
wanna
better
watch
now.
it.
Even
now.
even the instant speed rewinders
Right.
weren't any faster than the actual VCR. It just freed up the VCR for you to
Stick something
watch,
else
yep,
in, yeah.
and just that's where the whole problem started right there.
You remember we were talking
Totally.
about age at the beginning of this? Now we're really showing it, I believe.
I guess so. Isn't it? It's weird to me, but so when I taught guitar, I had students who weren't even born for when the Avalanche won their first Stanley Cup, and I was like,
Wow.
oh no,
Yeah.
I'm not a kid anymore.
Right.
I was only 22 then, and I was like,
I
I
was
have
gonna
students
say-
old enough to not know that happened.
Well, I thought the Stanley Cup was before
It was 1996,
96.
and the Avs were good, and kids don't believe that the Avs were ever good.
That'd be hard to believe.
Same with the Broncos, man. Remember 97? 97 was our first Super Bowl, and then
And 98,
in
Happened?
97 and 98.
we had a little mini dynasty,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then nothing happened since then.
Well, we got a lot more to talk about. We're hanging out with Rightfully Accused. This is the Friday night feature. It's tradiov.com. We're going to take a short little break, play the commercials, do the, whole legitimate, the sponsorship thing, and then we'll come back. And we're going to take the week in review and talk about some of the shit that's been going on.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
Take the week in review and talk about some of the shit that's been going on.
Tukis will make you feel good about cleaning. Tukis are reusable dishcloths that are hand-woven with eco-friendly 100% organic cotton. Tukis, handcrafted in India, will make a difference in your home, your life, and the lives of the Indian women who weave them with dignity and pride. Working to stand on their own 2 feet, Tukis are their labor of love. Go green with the best dishcloths available. That's Tukis. Order a 3-pack for less than $10 exclusively online at www.tukis.com. That's TOOCKIES. Tukis.com.
No one loves do-it-yourself projects more than I do, but you never want to cut or drill into a wall without knowing what's behind it. That's why I choose Zircon Corporation. As the #1 electronic hand tool company in the world, Zircon Super Tools help keep me and my crew safe and out of harm's way. From stud sensors and laser levels to metal detectors and electrical wiring sensors, sturdy and dependable Zircon tools are all I use. So whether renovating or redecorating, ask for Zircon by name at your local home improvement store. And should someone say, haven't seen you in a while, tell them, that's cause every time I come by, all the Zircon stud finders go off. Just kidding. Sort of. From odd jobs around the house to those bigger fall projects where you need a helping hand, it's good to know Zircon tools are within your reach and help you get the job done safely. Electronic tools are all they make, so they simply make them better. Remember, before any wall gets worked on, you'd better get a Zircon.
Mahalo Hawaii Deep Sea Drinking Water comes to you from the island paradise of Hawaii, 3,000 feet below the ocean surface, where the water is naturally clean, pure, cold, and filled with healthy minerals and nutrients. The deep sea water used for Mahalo drinking water is very old. It takes between 1,200 and 2,000 years for the water to travel to the North Atlantic Ocean through the freezing Arctic currents, under the vast glaciers of Greenland, where it gathers ancient minerals that leach down from the ice. Then it flows around and back down toward the deep channels of the Pacific Ocean. Mahalo Hawaii Deep Sea, purely the best water in the world. The official water for T Radio V. Log on to hawaiideepseawater.com. Mahalo.
You're listening to TRadioV.com, Denver.
And now back to the feature with Kelly and the Pain.
Here come the pain!
Kelly, 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 Kelly. Why? Because.
Here come the pain!
It's the Friday night feature. Kelly and the Pain, joined with our good friends from Rightfully Accused.
I feel like going for some reason right
We want you to sing along. It's like karaoke now.
Uh-oh. I don't do karaoke except on Wednesdays after I'm hammered and if Chris Isaac is available.
Sweet. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of Chris Isaac karaoke.
I say, step back,
take a good look around. So I think you might know that I don't know the words if I sang over my own.
Yeah, that would be embarrassing, right?
Like,
screw up a verse. That right there is Life is a Game from Rightfully Accused, hanging out here with us in studio tonight. They got a show at the Toad, right? The Toad Tavern tonight?
Aye.
Sweet. And you guys are headed down there right after you leave here.
That is correct.
Sweet.
We're going to speed.
All right, so we're going to talk the week in review because we've had quite a lot of shit going down in the Denver area over the last 2 weeks, month. We can go back. We can start by going back as far as the Aurora Theater shooting, okay? And then it all just kind of seemed to spiral and escalate and go out of control from there.
Apocalypse.
We had just... I lost my... there we go. We had the Jessica Ridgway thing happen a couple of weeks ago where some guy went out and kidnapped a 10-year-old girl and brutally murdered her.
Which makes me furious at the bottom of my soul.
Okay. Absolutely. Then a couple of days ago at a bar down on Colorado Boulevard, a local bar owner and 4 of her patrons were murdered. The bar was robbed and then set on fire to try and cover the murder. We will, we actually are going to do a shout out to the owner of that bar a little later on in the show. She was a good friend of mine. Her name is Young Farrow. It was right across the street from Applebee's down on Colorado Boulevard, and those of us who worked at that Applebee's, would get off of work and go over to Pharaoh's. We spent a lot of time over there. Young was really close to us, and we're going to give her a little, kind of a tribute later on. And then, there was also a guy that was just recently arrested with his mom chopped up in the back seat of his car.
I didn't hear about that.
And this brings me all back to what in the hell is going on?
That's every time I turn on the news, I feel like I say that lately. Yeah.
The first 3 stories on the news anymore are of some sort of brutal murder, kidnapping, and I keep seeing that these attempted child abductions keep coming up, and there's some sick fucking people out there, and we need to do something. Something needs to be done.
The problem with that is they can't, they walk among us without any kind of identifying, except for creeper smile. Like I guess that.
But I might.
That guy right there, get him.
From time to time, I might have creeper smile.
But you can't identify him. It's just like that guy has a beard, like
Well, here's my thought though. Okay, so let's say we take James Holmes, or we take if and when we capture this dude who did this to Jessica Ridgway. Let's say we take this guy, and finally let's make an example of somebody. I think we should bring back hangings. Okay, they made a very stern point. Every week there would be a weekly hanging. If you didn't want your kids to see it, fine. Now, here's my thought. What we need to do is we need to take that hanging or public execution of some sort and televise it. Put it on pay-per-view. Let the money go back to the victims' families or whatever. Broadcast this worldwide. We need to send a message. Okay? We need to send a message to our own people, like we will not freaking tolerate this kind of behavior anymore, and if you get caught, this is what's going to happen to you. I also think doing that will send a message to the world saying, hey, this is what we'll do to our own people who screw us over.
I wonder if it would still be as effective as it was 100 years ago. Are we so desensitized now?
Agreed.
I don't think we are. I think the reality of it, the fact that it is a lot, I think it goes farther than just being a movie or some brutal TV show or something at this point. When you show a lot, it has a different effect on people when they see it happening live to real people.
No, I'm sure, yeah.
It would save us quite a bit of money in the prison system.
And that's another thing that I think is jacked up, okay, is the whole system of it. Like for James Holmes, for example, I think that guy should have went straight to death row. No pass Gale, no don't pass go, straight to jail. Yeah, I mean
we have the legal system.
There's due process to everything,
right,
I'm sure,
right.
But this should be, there's some things that should be kind of more open and shut.
It definitely, and I think we've definitely taken our time with it, which isn't necessarily something that has to happen. I mean, it's fairly obvious there. We have to say innocent until proven guilty, but let's just get on it. I mean, it's not going to be hard to prove that guy guilty, I don't feel like.
Right.
But, they want to, I guess, to uphold the validity of the system itself, I think... I think that's almost what it's more about. I don't think it's about the fact that this guy, did or didn't do this. It's we have to
give everybody that same due process. Fine.
Exactly.
This should be a little shorter of a due process.
I agree with that. Yes.
He should be in front of a judge. Yep. Okay. Go through the whole process. Get in front of the judge. There shouldn't be a trial. There shouldn't be a jury. There should be a judge there with a folder going, yeah, you fucking did this, dude. You're going down.
Even a jury, it wouldn't be hard to, and maybe that's the thing. You've got a jury in there right now. Everybody's angry about this. You're supposed to find people who haven't heard about it, but good luck with that. And everybody's emotional. People are going to be emotional at that time anyway. I don't know. What? Where's the line between what is fair, what's obvious, and what is keeping things in check system-wide?
And I only kind of brought this up because my brother and I were talking about this earlier, and I know he's out there listening, and he's probably fuming and venting off on us as well because we were talking about this kind of shit earlier. I'm just really irritated with okay, I get you're mad, all right? Whatever, something bad happened to you, you're mad, whatever. take it out on the person that's mad at you. I find it hard to believe that the guy who took Jessica Ridgway was mad at this 10-year-old girl, mad enough to want to,
That's it's a whole different mental issue, I think, with that. It's different mental issues that have these different crimes going with them, and that's why I'm not sure that public hangings would have an effect, because
not for people like Jessica's.
Right. Them, it's
okay, but that's
they're
also
gonna do it.
that's an extreme. That's also the extreme case. The public hanging, I think, will detour the kid who is being bullied in high school and wants to go in and shoot everybody up because he's being, or I think it will deter the James Holmes kind of person who wants to get back at the world by shooting up a movie theater kind of,
You gotta hope. Yeah,
I don't think actually I would venture to say that wouldn't, because let's take the Columbine incident. Those kids came in there with all they wanted to do was whack as many people as they could, and at the end of it, they took their own life. So I don't.
So hanging isn't really a threat in that instance.
No, because they planned on dying.
Which is an interesting thing, because that's actually usually the way those things end. I feel like people go in, they shoot a whole bunch of people, and they kill themselves.
Or it's like more of a suicide by police type of situation where they're going to go and create a situation so that a cop will come in and shoot them down. I read a lot about that kind of stuff too.
Right, and it's an interesting thing, because in that sense, like, James Holmes is kind of a pussy, right? I mean, he went in there and he did his thing, and he's like, I'm still here doing my thing. I gotta live this up, or whatever. Sick.
Prison is no picnic though. Prison sucks.
Not that I've been to prison, but I've done time in county jail. I actually did a year in a county jail, which is, from my understanding, kind of harder time to do in prison, because you don't get as many of the freedoms in prison or in county jail as you get in a prison. Believe it or not, they're a little stricter, a little tighter, but it's still jail either way, and it's hard. The hardest part about it is being locked away from your family and the people that you talk to.
Right. I mean, your life stops. You don't have any of the freedom that. I mean, that's the idea. I think that's supposed to be a deterrent, but
I think for a lot of people it is.
I'm sure,
But some people are willing to risk everything they have and everything they know to.
Or that process just doesn't even happen in their mind. I mean, how do you stop crazy? Like, how do you? Yeah.
I don't know, but if you could bottle that and market it to women, you'd make money.
Yes, you would.
You'd make a lot of money if you could market that to women and stop crazy.
Stop crazy. I mean, you could market that to men for women.
I can say that because I'm in this separate room from her.
Right, there's glass in between.
That's right.
Up your bottle of
safe over there.
Stop it. Stop everything from.
One free bottle of fuck it all. Put her in a laughing mood. Give her a fuck it all.
Then we're gonna make pills for smart pills for men. Then is that cool?
Good luck. I don't think there's anything you can do that can genetically make us any smarter than the dumbasses that we are. And I will fully 100% support the fact that men are not smart individuals. We are not bright at all.
I wouldn't say you're dumb, but you're simple, and women tend to overcomplicate everything you do.
Absolutely.
Like, why'd you do that?
Right.
What do you mean by that?
You tend to overthink everything.
I just said what I meant, that's all.
I mean, it's a sandwich. I didn't call you fat. I'm just eating a
sandwich. Guys, speaking of complicated women, you guys hear Madonna was in town last night, right?
Yeah. I heard a lot of things about that.
Okay. Yeah. She was in town last night, scheduled to perform at 10 p.m. You know what time she took the stage? Midnight.
She pulled
2 hours.
Rose.
2 hours late for her own show. Last year when she came to town, she was an hour and a half late, so she beat out her own time by 30 minutes. But
she sounds like me.
The icing on the cake is her show. During a part of her show, she came out last night with fake submachine guns and simulated shooting up the crowd.
Did she
it was poor taste for Denver, but the symbolism of what she's doing, she's very anti-gun.
Well, and I understand that, and it's not any different than anything. She used to actually do the same thing in the late 80s and early 90s in her show. I'm not saying that, and as an artist, I understand, she shouldn't change her show, but at the same time, maybe put in a different song instead of that one. Be aware of your surroundings. Do not go into a city or a state that have suffered what we have been going through over the last month with all the, shit that we were just talking about.
Or does her point hit home harder because she did it here?
Maybe. Or maybe was she doing it to just cause a stir? To get people like us out there talking about her who would normally not talk about her.
Because otherwise she's just old.
I love Madonna.
I heard she played all her new stuff though.
I lost a lot of respect. I think you need to be, even as an artist, even as the diva, you need to be more aware of your surroundings and what you're doing. And
definitely.
If you're going to come into a play, to me it's no different than walking into a school and pretending to shoot up the students. Okay.
Yeah, that would be.
Or is it artistically like I understand what she's trying to make an artistic point or whatever, but does that make it okay for her to then drag a small doll out onto the stage and simulate chopping it up into pieces? Is that okay?
I think that would almost be better. Marilyn Manson used to do stuff like that,
yeah,
right?
I think all artists do outrageous things like that, and I think they do it for this reason, because we're talking about it right now, and a lot of other people are too.
And maybe it is a little more personal. Maybe it does hit a little closer to home because of all of what we were doing.
And I think as an artist, maybe you get a little carried away with what you think the reaction to an idea is going to be, and you don't necessarily know what the reaction is going to be. So you go with it. I don't know.
As an artist as an artist being in this community, is that something you would do on stage?
Absolutely not. I wouldn't do that to begin with. That's just not the kind of thing I do. But no, totally not. I
don't know. To me, I think so. I'm not asking you to change your view as an artist. I'm asking you simply to substitute one song for another and be aware of the crowd you're playing to.
Sure.
Okay, be aware of your audience. Don't come into a place that has recently dealt with what we've been going through as a state and expect a good reaction to something like that.
I don't think she cares if it's good. I think she
just wants the reaction, sure.
Yeah. No, yeah. And she's an interesting case. She is, because for all intents and purposes as a musical artist, I think she's really good actually, but she does do things that are outside the box from time to time.
Which is genius, because she's still packing.
Still relevant at what? How old is she now? 50. She's going to be in her mid-upper 50s, yeah?
And the concert was sold out, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
sure.
She's been doing it for that long, so business-wise, I think she's very smart, too.
Oh, she's Madonna owns everything.
I mean, a 50-year-old shocking people still. I think, I don't care for what she did, but it was smart.
True. And she does it every tour. Every single tour she goes on, there's something she does that's like, what are you doing? And this tour, I feel like particularly, she's done a number of things that have come up.
She mooned the crowd with the Obama tattooed on her backside.
Love that.
That's just fun. Okay, that's all right. That's at least fun.
Yeah.
I have breaking news. I've just been informed that Orion's meteor shower starts tomorrow and lasts through the 22nd. You can expect 20 hours of green and yellow meteors.
That's pretty cool.
Some the size of Texas. Ah! No.
Perfect. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we are going to do some shout-outs. We will promote your show one more time and kind of walk out of here with a smile on our face. You're listening to the Friday Night Feature with Kelly and the Pain right here on TRadioV.com.
Chew.
Tukis will make you feel good about cleaning. Tukis are reusable dishcloths that are hand-woven with eco-friendly 100% organic cotton. Tukis, handcrafted in India, will make a difference in your home, your life, and the lives of the Indian women who weave them with dignity and pride. Working to stand on their own 2 feet, Tukis are their labor of love. Go green with the best dishcloths available. That's Tukis. Order a 3-pack for less than $10 exclusively online at www.tukis.com. That's TOOCKIES. Tukis.com.
No one loves do-it-yourself projects more than I do, but you never want to cut or drill into a wall without knowing what's behind it. That's why I choose Zircon Corporation. As the #1 electronic hand tool company in the world, Zircon Super Tools help keep me and my crew safe and out of harm's way. From stud sensors and laser levels to metal detectors and electrical wiring sensors, sturdy and dependable Zircon tools are all I use. So whether renovating or redecorating, ask for Zircon by name at your local home improvement store. And should someone say, haven't seen you in a while, tell them, that's cause every time I come by, all the Zircon stud finders go off. Just kidding. Sort of. From odd jobs around the house to those bigger fall projects where you need a helping hand, it's good to know Zircon tools are within your reach and help you get the job done safely. Electronic tools are all they make, so they simply make them better. Remember, before any wall gets worked on, you'd better get a Zircon.
Mahalo Hawaii Deep Sea Drinking Water comes to you from the island paradise of Hawaii, 3,000 feet below the ocean surface, where the water is naturally clean, pure, cold, and filled with healthy minerals and nutrients. The deep sea water used for Mahalo drinking water is very old. It takes between 1,200 and 2,000 years for the water to travel to the North Atlantic Ocean through the freezing Arctic currents, under the vast glaciers of Greenland, where it gathers ancient minerals that leach down from the ice. Then it flows around and back down toward the deep channels of the Pacific Ocean. Mahalo Hawaii Deep Sea, purely the best water in the world. The official water for T Radio V. Log on to hawaiideepseawater.com. Mahalo.
You're listening to TRadioV.com, Denver.
I have a feeling some bad stuff is about to go down.
Now back to the feature with Kelly and the Pain. Because we can't find anything better to do on a Friday night.
For the first time in a long time,
I made $8 in royalties off this song last year.
Yeah, see? I remember when you sent us this song last year.
This is, I think, my favorite song we've ever done.
I think it's one of my favorites, too. I really, really like the message that you put into it. And, you know, I played the hell out of this song, I remember, over the holidays last year. So,
which is coming right up again.
That's why we're throwing out there. This one's called A Holiday Next to You from Rightfully Accused. Now, you can check these guys out on Facebook, YouTube, Reverb, anywhere else.
There's rightfullyaccused.com. There's, I mean, we're on Reverb Nation, and we got the YouTube thing, Facebook, of course, Twitter. There's an R Accused Twitter. We'll call that it for now. Oh, MySpace. Not that that matters at all anymore.
Although I've heard they've really vamped that up. Justin Timberlake bought it out, and he's like really amped it up. It's supposed to be really badass now.
Yeah, I mean, I have visited it in the past week for the first time in months, and I mean, it's better. It's better.
Better. He said so hesitantly.
But I mean, they're not going to get everybody back. I hate to say it, but I think MySpace is done.
I think it's going to be coming back.
They're still better for music. They've always been better for music, actually.
Better than
Facebook.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Okay, so you guys say on Reverb it says sounds like, and you guys for your band it said Savage Garden, Lady Gaga, and Def Leppard.
That's so awesome.
It is awesome, but listening to your song, I can hear all those things. I mean,
it's funny because whenever I'm answering like one of those things, whenever I'm filling out the latest and greatest new web page that you have to fill out, I just what influences? These are the things I'm listening to right now, so they must be influential. Like Def Leppard's in there because it's always been in there. Def Leppard. Those of you who've been around for a long time know that we were like a hair band for 12 years, pretty much.
Awesome. Can you drum one-handed? Are you a one-armed drummer?
I definitely can drum one-handed.
Awesome.
You guys want to hear an awesome joke?
Oh, go! You take it. Take it. You take that joke and you run with it.
What has 9 arms and sucks?
Yes.
Def Leppard.
It's okay because they have 5 parts.
I was gonna say I was gonna say a 7-limbed drumming spider, but that's never mind.
He can do a Beavis impersonation.
Do it.
Wait, you want to read something? As Beavis?
No, I just want the TP from my bunghole.
But you can cuss. I told him.
Oh, yeah,
He's
let
like,
it
this
rip.
Is internet, yeah.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Shut up, Beavis.
Oh.
No, I'm on a goddamn radio show, yeah. Everybody listen to me. Listen to me now.
Yes, if you are watching, he is having a stroke in the in the studio right now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, play that one song about, like, dancing chicks and whatnot, yeah.
Whatnot.
Whatnot? He said whatnot. You got advanced.
Yeah.
You do any impressions? He does.
Do I do any impressions? Even
Yes,
well?
Walken.
Oh, yeah.
Christopher Walken?
Oh, yeah. I don't even know. I forgot that I do. Chris Walken. Sometimes. He's sitting around the house.
Where are we right now?
In the studio.
Are we down somewhere?
Downtown.
Okay, so you love Friday Night Feature on T Radio V.
I love Friday Night Feature on T Radio Z.
I've got one. So I can do a pretty wicked, nasty Sean Connery.
Nice, yes.
Oh, that's right.
You're listening to the Friday Night Feature on TRadioV.com. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
Awesome.
That's great.
Very good. Sean Connery is good.
That's all I
great.
got.
I like it. That's good to know because Eric and I.
This isn't the cure for the common cold. We've discovered a cure for cancer.
Eric and I are working on a song called "I'm Like Indiana Jones," and we have a Sean Connery rap breakdown in the middle of it, and we might have to have you come in and do that.
I will do a Sean Connery rap. I used to do dramatic readings of popular songs as Sean Connery.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, Friday by Jessica Black. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's Friday.
Really
Everybody down on Friday. It's Friday. We had a good old time. All right. So now it's time for some shout-outs, okay? First of all, I want to shout out to Claire Roberts and Best 303 Sounds for all of the stuff that they do in the local music scene. And
Claire's awesome.
all of the artists that they support. And, I mean, that woman just... And the fact that she does this all for free, you know, she doesn't want any money out of it. She's just doing it for the love of music. Makes Claire Roberts and Best 303 Sounds super awesome. Shout out to them. Thanks for their support.
Thanks, Claire.
Well,
Thanks.
Shout out to, what is it? Altitude Organic Medicine South and MedX over on Federal. A couple of really cool-ass dispensaries here in town who are going to help us with some sponsorship stuff we have coming up in the next few months. So we will shout out to them. We also want to shout out to Elvis today.
Elvis.
Today's the anniversary of when Elvis got his draft. When Elvis got his draft letter or whatever.
Yeah.
And went.
Yep.
Word.
So we are going to shout out to him by playing GI Blues.
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
I love this era of music so much.
Spring reverb, man.
That too.
I like how the girls are dancing back in this time.
Yep. I also like how calm. I like how calm they are standing there in front of the king of rock and roll. Okay, any other place they'd have been like throwing panties and shit.
And their moms are pissed off about Elvis. You know, like this is.
Look at how shakes them hips.
That's what he's saying. You think he's better looking than me? You think he's more fun than I am?
They're like, yeah.
dresses are ugly.
See, I love it's classy.
Yeah, but they're matching. They must be sisters.
All of that.
Or they're matching dresses.
You mean women don't call each other and plan out their outfits every day?
Is the drummer wearing those
Lederhosen.
Yes, yes.
What is he doing that for?
I just got done doing like a month of Oktoberfest events.
I won the Steinlifting contest at Oktoberfest.
Really? The one down there?
Yeah.
What was it?
The Steinlifting.
Which week?
It's drunk. I don't remember.
Or the last one? Like the big
No, not
Steinlifting?
the big one.
Oh. I
Just
was
the mini
doing
one.
sound for that one. That was fun.
I left before I gave him my name. I was like, woo!
All right.
You were hammered. You were
I
like,
was hammered.
Wait, guys, we gotta go back. We gotta go back. I forgot
I didn't
something.
care.
I don't remember what though.
Jocks are high-fiving me. I'm awesome.
As I mentioned a little earlier, myself and a lot of my friends at Applebee's lost a good friend of ours this week at Pharaoh's, the owner of Pharaoh's. Her name was Young Pharaoh, and tonight I would like to kind of tribute and dedicate a little song to Young. So tonight, we are Young. She was really a fantastic, awesome person. She was really crazy. She could be a little intense at times, but she really was just a lot of fun and really, really awesome person. So tonight, we're giving this song out for her. I just think it fits her very well.
This whole record is just awesome.
Phenomenally written. It was written like a Broadway musical almost, you know? Like it's a soundtrack to a opera almost, or a music.
God, that guy can sing.
Yeah, I'm just really impressed with the whole band. Their arrangements are freaking fantastic. They seem so complicated.
Great. It's great. They're not afraid to use instruments.
And from what I understand, they have a rotating group of members. Like, it's not just the set 6 or 7 of them. There's actually 15, 16 of them, something like that kind of rotate in and out.
Just like you guys.
We know a thing or two about that.
More like a, like a rolling jam session.
Well. This is the Journey drunk end of the night bar song of tomorrow. I feel like because every time this song comes on, everybody's like, yeah! And then everybody starts
like
singing.
Don't Stop Believing.
Right. Yeah. This is the Don't Stop Believing of tomorrow.
The first time I heard this song was on the commercial where they did with the Chevy, the little Chevy car that did the quarter pipe and flipped all the way back over. With Rob Dyrdek. Oh my God, it was awesome.
I know what I'm talking about, and I was like, I told someone, I was talking to somebody, I'm like, yeah, it's got to be bad that I'm like getting all my new music through like commercials.
I know. Well, the MSN commercial made that song so popular as well.
And I actually saw Fun, like, I don't remember when they came through with Panic at the Disco, and I was like, this band is way too happy for me. I need like, my original thought was like it was too nursery rhymey for me. I'm like, oh. They're like the opening, like one of the opening bands. And then Some Nights came out, and I'm like, wow, this is really good. Like, this is fun. What?
I wonder if it's because the way video is so tied to music now. Now that we've seen the video and they put their own spin on what the music means, and makes it different from just listening. Do you guys do any sort of video work? Add any visuals to any of your music?
Not yet. It's a road we haven't really crossed yet. I have a buddy who I've talked about adding some video to on one song, but every time we talk about it, there's some new thing that comes up that's like, oh, we have to figure this part out too. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I get busy and I don't deal with it for another month.
What's the concept?
The song changes from our last album. It could easily be synced with our current political climate.
Really?
I think. And yeah, actually, when I originally wrote that song, it was partially based on what was going on in 2008. So it's still relevant in that same context, I think. And I kind of want to get it out soon because after November, it will be much less relevant.
We're all going to be zombies.
That's true.
Yep.
Apocalypse.
Pay attention all through the entire month of November here on the Friday night feature. We are going to be preparing people for the zombie apocalypse, which is going to happen on December 21st, 2012. And then you'll want to tune in that Friday night because December 21st is a Friday night. So we will be live on the air for the end of the world. You'll want to be here live with us to make sure everything goes down just the way we think it's going to.
I will be working an event that night.
I've been scouting out caves and old mine shafts.
My wife and I have been watching and taking tips from Extreme Couponing. We're going out for our first our first major stockpile shopping trip tomorrow. So we're going to start the stockpile.
Are you going to get out for like free? Are they going to pay you to take groceries out of there? Did you coupon like that?
Dude, it actually takes about a year's worth of work to get up to what they do on that show. But with the way we've got it mapped out, we're going to get away. We're going to probably walk out of there with we're planning about a $400 shopping spree for less than $50.
That's
awesome.
It's going to be sweet. All right, so you know how they say to always leave them laughing? Right?
Do it.
It is the end of the show, guys. I want to thank you very much for coming down. I know you got to boogie out of here real soon because you got a show of your own to do in about 45 minutes. If you ain't got nothing better to do tonight, head on down to the Toad Tavern. Catch Rightfully Accused live.
On Federal and Bowles.
You don't have anything better to do.
Bellevue. Federal and Bellevue.
As we learned earlier, there is nothing better to do on a Friday night now.
That's right.
Federal and Bowles. Okay, we're going to leave them laughing with one of my favorite YouTube sensations. It's called Epic Rap Battles of History.
I love these.
And tonight's is especially relevant. It is Barack Obama versus Mitt Romney.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming down, guys.
I'm not gonna let this battle be dictated by facts. I'm rich. I've got fat stacks and super PACs. We all know what went down in that 2008 election. You're a decent politician with a winning complexion. You're all Barack and no Blake, but no change, and we're all still hoping that you'll shut your mouth like Guantanamo Bay, they're both open. You're from the Windy City where you're looking pretty with your blowhards, but come January you'll be left evicted and with no job. Raw rhymes stronger than my jawline when I spit a phrase, knocking you harder than front doors in my old mission days. You see this silver spoon, this the mass out of debt. Took you 4 years to drop unemployment down below 8%. You feel that, Barry? You're old news. Everyone's having doubts, and your rhymes are as weak as this economy that you've done nothing about. Call me a vicious businessman, cause Romney's stealing this race. I'll go bank capital on your donkey ass, restructure your face.
They say your father was a great man. You must be what's left. Need to stop hating on gays. Let them teach you how to dress. You got the mama jeans and a Mr. Fantastic face. So rich and white, it's like I'm running against a cheesecake. Republicans need a puppet and you fed. Got their hands so far up your rear, call you mate. I'm the head of state. You're like a head of cabbage, about to get smacked by my stimulus package. You're a bad man with no chance. You can't even touch me. I got 4 more years, 2 terms, and the White House. Just trust me. I hope you saved your best rhymes for the second half, because right now I'm 47% for kicking your ass.
Whatever. That 40% thing got you real mad. What did it remind you how many decent parents you had?
Look, I respect our religions, but it might get crazy if the White House is a first, second, and a third lady.
Ha! Don't bring up wives, man. What are you doing? You got hitched to the female version of Patrick Ewing.
Let me be clear. Don't get it twisted. We'll see how pretty your face is after my fist has kissed it.
You're a stuttering communist.
Oh, yeah? Well, you're stupid.
You're stupid.
Nuh-uh.
I am the power invested in me by the giant Baldwin. The president shall not be the shiniest of 2 turds. Dude, I want to like you. Don't talk about change to do it. I thought what was on my radar until I put it went through it. Hey, you, moneyman, you're a pancake, you flip-flopping it. It's a country, not a company. You can play like Monopoly. I'll properly reach across the aisle and bitch smack you as equals. I'm the people, by the
Yes. Epic.
Awesome.
Love it. There you go. That was Abe Lincoln coming in to put the final smack down.
Awesome.
Check them out on Facebook. That is Epic Rap Battles of History. They got some damn good ones in there. Damn good ones. Check them out if you get a chance.
Break a leg tonight, guys.
Good luck, guys. Thank you. Rightfully Accused in the studio. Kelly and the Pain. Friday night feature. T Radio V. We are out. We will see you next week for the Halloween edition. We will have some of the boys from the West Coastless crew as well as some of our own friends, and we're going to be in here scaring people and doing fun Halloween shit. Maybe we'll go trick-or-treating through the building.
Nobody's here.
I know. That's what... These cameras are portable, right? We'll have to work that out with Trevor, see if we can get a camera to go around the building. Let's haunt the building next week. We'll scare people.
That's a great idea.
We'll work that out. It's the Friday night feature. TRadioV.com. You guys have a good night. We will see you next week.